Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to another wonderful session of Grammar Live with me, Alexander. I want to believe that your week has been fruitful and you've been practicing all that we have been doing here faithfully. To those joining us for the first time, thank you and welcome to Grammar Live. As always, I would like to encourage you to share the links with your friends, with your questions, contributions, suggestions, anything on your mind regarding the learning or the studying of English. Keep them coming and I'll give you answers as we go along. Thank you so much once again. So just share the links with your friends, invite your family members in, tell them Grammar Live is on, that they should join for another wonderful session. They should just join for another wonderful session. I promise you, throughout this month, we are going to experience and learn something unique that we have really not thought about. So share the links with your friends. Tell them Grammar Live is on. Leave your questions, your comments, your contributions. Hit the like button, the heart button, and share us to as many people as you can. Keep sharing the links with them as you keep your questions, your contributions, and your suggestions coming in. So whilst we wait for those that you share the links with to join, I would like to use this opportunity to go over all that we did last week. We want to go over everything that we did last week. So last week we talked about how to improve your grammar skills. We talked about how to improve your grammar skills. That's what we talked about last week. How to improve your grammar skills. I'm saying in order to improve your grammar skills, the first thing that we need to do is to understand the building blocks of grammar. We need to understand the building blocks of grammar. And we look at what the building blocks of grammar are. We said the building blocks are basically the parts of speech of grammar, because these are the blocks that we put together to form sentences, and sentences come as a result of languages. So we need to understand the building blocks of grammar. That is the first thing we need to understand. Two, so we need to pay attention to sentence structure. We need to look at how sentences are formed or how sentences are constructed. They are very important if we want to improve our grammar skills. We need to pay attention to how sentences are structured. The next thing is we need to practice whenever we can. At every given opportunity, at every given time, we need to practice speaking the language. We need to continue religiously practice speaking the language. So at any given time, you must practice if you truly want to improve your grammar skills. The next thing is we need to do a lot of grammar exercises. We need to do a lot of grammar exercises. They are very, very helpful and very, very important if we want to improve our grammar skills. Do a lot of different grammar exercises in order for you to identify your weaknesses. For you to be able to build upon them, you must do a lot of exercises. You must do a lot of exercises. Another area that is of importance is you must find a mentor. And here we say a mentor is somebody that has a strong command over English grammar. So you need to find a mentor to mentor you. In order for you to speak correctly, you need to get a mentor to help you speak. It's important that for you to improve your speaking, you must join an English course. And here I recommended Claroma College to you to come and have a first-hand experience of mastering the skill of grammar. Mastering the skill of grammar. Now, today we want to talk about how to improve your speaking skills. How to improve your speaking skills. So as always, I'd like to encourage you to share the links with your friends. Keep your questions and your contributions coming. Hit the like button, send me a heart, Let me know that you are really enjoying all that we've been doing so far. So continue to share the links with your friends and families. Tell them Grammar Live is on. Now, speaking is a very important element when it comes to communication. For us to effectively communicate, we should be able to speak what we are thinking, and for people to understand what we are thinking or we are saying. So speaking is a fundamental tool that is used to communicate thoughts and feelings. It's a fundamental tool that we use to communicate thoughts and feelings. Now, it is important that for you to be able to get somebody to understand you, you must communicate or you must speak to the person in a language that he or she understands. It is very, very important. It becomes difficult when we cannot effectively communicate to people our thoughts and our intentions. That is why today we want to look at some of the ways, the method, the steps that we need to take in order to improve our speaking skills. Methods or steps that we need to employ in order for us to improve our speaking skills, The first thing that we need to understand is we need to work on our pronunciations and our dictions. Our pronunciations are very, very important, because if you don't pronounce the word correctly, the people or the person that you are communicating to will find it very difficult to understand. So for you to be able to improve your speaking skills, you need to work on your pronunciation and you need to work on your diction. Now we have different branches of English language. You can choose a particular accent that you want to go with, either the British accent or the American accent, and work on it. Listen to it, work on your pronunciation. So to be a good speaker means to pronounce words accurately. That is one key that you need if you want to be a good speaker. You need to work on your pronunciation. You need to work on your pronunciation. The second thing is you need to talk with your mirror. Most people see this to be very absurd or very funny, but it is very, very important that if you want to improve your speaking skills, you need to practice with the mirror. You need to talk to the mirror. So speaking aloud to yourself in the mirror about anything on your mind is the best way to practice without feeling stressed. Here, you are the only person and you are talking to yourself, so there's no stress. So for you to improve your speaking skills, you need to develop the habit of communicating your thoughts to yourself in the mirror. So you need to speak to the mirror in order to come up and overcome the stress that comes with it. So you need to talk with yourself in the mirror. You need to talk to yourself in the mirror. Talk to yourself in the mirror. It is very, very important. It is very, very important. Thank you so much, Koi, for sending in your comment. I really appreciate it. So you need to talk to yourself in the mirror if you want to improve your speaking skills. Another step that you need to take is you need to listen attentively to native speakers. It is very, very important that if you want to improve your speaking skills, you need to critically listen to native speakers as they speak. Now, you don't necessarily need to meet the person. You need to listen to English music. You need to watch movies, listen to interviews, audiobooks, or anything that is of interest to you, and make sure that those materials that you are listening to should be in the language or in the tonation of a native speaker. So you need to listen attentively to native speakers. And one of the ways, or some of the ways that you can do that, is by listening to music, watching movies, listening to interviews, listening to audiobooks, or anything that you would like to listen to. And it should be in the language or by people or native speakers. truly want to improve your speaking skills, it should be by native speakers. By native speakers. Another step that you need to take is you need to find a native speaker to talk to. So it is not just enough to listen to native speakers. You need to consciously find a native speaker to speak to if you really want to improve your speaking skills. Here, thanks to social media, there are a lot of people online that we can send them friend requests for them to become our friends, that we can have the opportunity to practice our speaking skills with them. So you need to find a native speaker. Finding a native speaker can be in person, that is one-on-one with a person, or it can be online through any of the social media platforms. But the most important thing is the person or the people that you communicate or you talk to should be native speakers. The intention is that they have mastery over the language, and as such, they are able to correct you when you make mistakes when it comes to the language. Because they are native speakers, they've mastered the language, so they are in a better position to correct you when you make mistakes in terms of your pronunciation. That is why it is important to find native speakers to talk to. Find native speakers to talk to. Another thing that you need to do is you need to read books aloud. You don't need to read silently in your head or in your mind if you want to improve your speaking skills. You need to read aloud. You need to read aloud. So reading aloud is really good practice that is proven to improve your speaking skills. Here, one interesting thing is that if you are reading in your mind, everything that you read is perfect. But the moment you start reading aloud, personally, you will identify that you are having challenges with some of the pronunciations. That is why it is advisable that if you want to improve your speaking skills, you need to read books aloud. You need to read books aloud. It is very, very important that you read aloud. Another thing that you need to do is to expand your vocabulary. You need to expand your vocabulary. And one interesting thing about this is expanding your vocabulary will come naturally if you are dedicated to improving your speaking skills. Once you take you make the conscious effort and you are committed to it, that you want to improve your speaking skills, expanding your vocabulary comes naturally. It comes naturally. You don't need to struggle for it. You need to expand your vocabulary. It is very, very important if you want to improve your speaking skills. Another thing is you need to work on your self-confidence. For you to be a good speaker, you must work on your self-confidence. Here we say your attitude is everything when you speak. Your attitude is everything when you speak. So as such, for you to improve your speaking skills, you need to work on your self-confidence. That is why I give you a typical example of working on your self-confidence is talking to yourself in the mirror. It is one way to boost your self-confidence. Another thing is that you don't need to be scared of making mistakes. You don't need to be scared of making mistakes. Because if you become too careful, you end up making mistakes. So you need to, on your own, deliberately develop and consciously psych yourself that you want to speak and practice with your mirror and boost your self-confidence. Because your attitude is everything when you speak. Your attitude is everything. Another step that you need to take is use language learning apps. Use language learning apps. use language learning apps. Because of the world we are in now, the technological world, we most of the time number the internet. So it is very important that if you want to improve your skills, you take advantage of opportunity that the world will lead into the technological world. Because as most people spend pretty much time on their phones, you should at least spend some time in by going and downloading apps that can help you to improve your speaking skills. So by downloading apps, spend some time practicing using the app in order to improve your speaking skills. And finally, one of the best and the fastest way to improve your speaking skills is to enroll in an English school. It is considered as one of the fastest and the most effective way to improve your speaking skills. Here you can enroll via online or pay personally in class in order for you to improve your speaking skills. The reason why you need to enroll in an English class is the facilitators or the teachers are mostly or are native speakers. They help you by bringing different people together that gives you the opportunity to communicate them in English. So if you want to improve your English skills, you need to enroll yourself in an English class. And as always, just as I said last week, I will again welcome the Roma College to you. And if you truly desire that you want to improve your speaking skills, this is one of the best ways that you can have and find to improve your speaking skills. So take advantage of this opportunity that I'm giving you. Go to our website as it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Call the phone number on the screen or send us a WhatsApp message with an appointment, and we will gladly assist you with the necessary steps and measures that you need to take in order to enroll with us or a college to improve your speaking skills. All too soon, we've come to the end of another wonderful session of Grammar Live. As always, I would encourage you to keep your questions, your contributions coming in, anything bothering you when it comes to grammar and speaking. I'm here and I'm ready to assist you. And if you have an intention, if you know somebody that wants to enroll in a language school, I recommend the Roma College to in that person. The Roma College, because we care about you, to empower you to prepare and get yourself ready for the future. Till then, have a wonderful week and see you next time. And always remember that with grammar, you will speak better. Have a free. And I wish you, fellow Christians, a happy Easter. I wish you God's favor, blessings, protections as the death and resurrection of Christ Jesus bring you